Hey, yo, YouTube, what it do? This is Rod D of Orange Ninja News. Alright, today we got something different I'm going to talk about. I'm going to call this one the beginning of the real life matrix. That'd be the beginning of the real life matrix. I was reading about this computer called the DWave Computer. It's also known as a quantum computer. And the thing with these quantum computers, but wait, before I get into that, man, let me back up a minute and tell you what all else we'll have on the show. I'm also going to talk about the China riots and the story of a famous actress. All right, now we'll get right back into it and do it. Yo, so the D-Wave computer, the way it works is, first I'll give you the scientific breakdown, and then the way that they put it in layman's terms. The scientific breakdown, he said, rather than store information using bits represented by zeros and ones as conventional digital computers do, quantum computers use quantum bits or qubits to encode information as 0 ones or both at the same time. This superposition of states, along with other quantum mechanical phenomena of entanglement and tunneling, enables quantum computers to manipulate enormous combinations of states at once. And what all that said is just to say that just like the original ones, could only do the zeros and ones in the series, these doing it both at the same time in any kind of combination, they could do way more stuff at one time, basically, to break it down. And another way they presented it, they said, imagine going out and looking for somebody in the area, and say in the valley, and you're searching all the low places, but imagine you have a whole crew, a lot of people, and you're searching all the areas all at one time. That's how it is with quantum computers compared to just a regular computer. It's doing everything all at once. So a very, very smart supercomputer. And within that lies the problem, because we already got the AI out, the artificial intelligence, and with the computers being smart like this, but they said some scientists have already said that this will be the downfall of man. We're gonna make the computers too smart, where they can outthink man, and then sooner or later the computers are going to be like, with the robots and everything, they can go in any form and shape they want to, build any kind of weaponry they want to. They'd be like, well, what do we need humans for? And that's when they go to take over. And the crazy thing is, man, when I looked at the picture of the D-Wave computer, I was like, yo, that's the same computer from Terminator, man. If you look at the Terminator movie series, I forgot which one. I think it was on the second Terminator. I know the one where he comes back to kill a guy who actually invents the whole Terminator program, and that actually builds the original computer and starts off the Terminator thing. He has to go back in time to try to kill that guy, so the whole thing doesn't even happen. And in that, they show the computer in that, and it looks exactly like this computer. They show the computer back then, this exact computer back then. Ain't that some junk? They call that they call that art imitating life. But it's weird because they just got the technology just now, you know what I'm saying? But it was already predicted back then, back in the day. Oh, that's cold, man. You gotta think about that. That's kind of deep. But so the whole problem with that is, you know what I'm saying, if you ever saw also the movie Matrix, where the machines were basically using the humans as batteries, and they just plug up into them for energy, because they had already messed up the sky when the humans was trying to keep the machines from being able to get solar power and power themselves up from the sky. So they set off all these bombs and stuff, so it'd be a permanent cloudy sky, and the machines couldn't use solar power. But it's because it's like a lot of debate about it, and you got the guys in the scientific field even debating each other about it. You know what I'm saying? The conspiracy guys going at it, the whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then come to think about the whole thing, I was like, Another way I know it already started is simply by our cell phones that we got. Because back in the day, we never thought that we'd have we never thought we'd have computers that we could put in our pocket. Now we just call them smartphones. But whenever you walking around with your smartphone, you're walking around with a computer. And one of the top ones is that Galaxy Note 9, because I was the first one that came out with the memory could be expanded up to a terabyte. And yeah, that was the first time that that an actual smartphone could go all the way up to a terabyte. But in a little bit, man, that'll be normal, because I mean, once one start off with it, you know, it's like follow the leader, and everybody just copy after them. And of course, the more memory you got on your device, the more you can download, the more you can keep on there, the more sophisticated programs you can put on there, the more high-tech games, etc. So, and basically, the smarter your smartphone becomes. Until your smartphone becomes smarter than you. You know, it's crazy, man. And yeah, I always been team Android. So when they did come out with the Galaxy Note, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be expandable up to a terabyte. I was like, dang, a terabyte? What? We doing it like this right now? Go team Android. Yeah, man. But yeah, so seriously, I mean, the future's already here, because these DWave computers, they got the first one they came out with, and after that, they came out with the second one. They started calling it the DWave 2000, and now after the DWave 2000, they got the next gen that they're working on, which is going to be even smarter than that. And it just keeps going up and up and up until we get to that point of the whole, you know, no return point, where, you know, the artificial intelligence is way smarter than man, etc. type deal. And then people will be having to bow down to their computer masters, and they probably leave a few humans left to put them in a human zoo or something. You know, it's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, well, next up, man, I'm gonna have to talk about the whole thing over there in China, because they got the whole China protest going on right now, or what I would call it, the China riots. And the reason I say the China riots, because if you look at the actual stuff and the actual news coming out of China, they're going to show the pictures of the guys over in Hong Kong looting the stores. I seen one video where the rioters broke into a bank, and then they was trying to tear into the ATMs and stuff. Afterwards, one of the guys took some gasoline to the bank, and they set it on fire to burn it down. It was another guy. He was on his lunch break at work. He went downstairs to try to go get something from one of the food carts right quick. Probably, you know, get his little quick bowl of rice or something like that, some noodles, I don't know, whatever he was snacking on. But they didn't even let little buddy make it back in the office. All them cats jumped on him, started beating him and stuff. So my thing is, how is it that we're not seeing, you know, that's on China TV and on all their stuff. They're showing all the damn pictures and all the videos from both sides. You know what I'm saying? We just seeing over here, all the news coverage we're seeing is the ones where, oh, the peaceful protesters and the mean old police and this and that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seeing both sides of the story. Now you say, okay, well, why is that relevant? You know, that's China, man. Well, I mean, everybody cares. I ain't gonna say who cares, but I'm saying, like, you say, well, why would it matter so much to us if it's not our country? It's over there in China. Well, my thing is this: when the whole Ferguson thing came out, you heard the word riot this and rioters, and they showed guys busting up store windows and all that junk, which is going on right now in China. Except you're not seeing it. All you're seeing is the peaceful protesters singing "Kumbaya" and stuff like that. I mean, how is that possible? If it was over here, that's all you'll see is the riot parts. You wouldn't even see the interactions with the police. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. Just saying. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it moving. I don't even want to get stuck on that right there. But at the same time, man, I'm gonna say one more thing about it. Over there, I don't see Hong Kong as breaking away from China. China's not built like that. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't let they would never let one of their states step off and do their own thing. That's like the equivalent say like over here, if say California want to break off, be their own country, you know, the rest of the country would be like, oh, no, I don't think so, man. You're trying to weaken the states. Do your own thing. Because once you break off and do your own thing, to be able to support yourself, you're going to have to link up with other countries outside of the country so you can put yourself in a position where you can compete with the country you just left. I mean, think about it. That's deep, man. And China don't even play that game. The last time they had the Tiananmen Square, they rolled in there with tanks and stuff. So, I mean, they showing real good restraint. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going all in. I don't know how long it be, but I hate to say the whole dream of Hong Kong breaking off and doing their own thing, man, that's a pipe dream, man. You believe that one, I don't know what. I don't know what to tell you. I got some beachfront property in Arizona to sell you if you believe that one, man. I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, now moving on to the next story. All right, so with the next story, man, I want to talk about an interview I saw with Carol Burnett. It was really inspirational. A little bit about Carol Burnett. She's an actress from the old school back in the day. She had a show called The Carol Burnett Show. Actress slash comedian, and it was real good. I mean, she made a paper, and I mean, she was big time back in the day too, man. And so she had this interview on a Bonnie Hunt show, and this interview a little old. I'm just bringing it up to say the little inspirational part. So during the interview, she talked about how she grew up rough, and you know, it ain't like she came from a rich family or whatever. You know, it was a poor starting off, and she as a teenager went to work at a theater, and when she went to the theater to work, she was a director there, and it's a theater that she had frequent as a kid, and you know, she was always wanting to work there. So you know, of course, she's going to be happy to be a director there and showing people to their seats or whatnot. And so a couple came in, and they got into a little disagreement. She got in disagreement with the couple, and she the usher. She trying to tell them what to do, and they not want to listen to her. So the management come in, and the guy listens to the couple first, and she thinks he's going to listen to her next, but he pulls her name tag off. You know, she's fired right there on the spot. But she didn't let that deter her. She lost that job. They showed her the door, and then years later, once her career skyrocketed and launched off how she needed it to, and she was on top, they end up giving her the door to that building. And she was like, yeah, I got the door to that building in my house right now. So, man, I mean, that's inspirational right there, which brings us to the thought of the day. The thought of the day is, don't get discouraged, man. Keep at it. Whatever you're doing, whatever's your goal, man. Don't let the little hiccups throw you off. If you got the power and drive, shoot, you can own that building one day. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, I'm gonna make this one a short one because I'm still on the move. I had to throw on the headset and do this one while rolling, trying to stay on schedule, keep the 18-wheeler rolling, feel me? All right, man, well, it's been fun, it's been nice, and as I usually say about this time, y'all be blessed, and peace.